if you're watching this after the fact, here with my buddy Charles Walker. You've seen it on the channel before. We were hanging jamming. We thought we'd just go live. So ask some questions, whatnot. This is for right now the people watching this after the fact because no one is in here yet. But let's get these comments pulled up and just kind of hang, dude. Let me refresh this.
We should jam on that Talking Tennessee.
Okay, dude. Can you teach me the progression again? Oh, uh-oh. Of course, now, like, it's Tim Avon production value no matter what, you guys. We keep it. Boop. Okay. There we go. There we go. Tack, what's up, brother? Good to see y'all. Can I move this through here? Oh, this actually works a little bit better. Garrett, what's up? Okay, boom, off the bat. What's that progression you were talking about? You guys, this is Charles Walker, great buddy, singer, songwriter. We're in here hanging. We're gonna jam. Also answer any questions you guys got. I don't know, it's pretty casual. You guys know the drill, right? We'll jam some. Shire So in Tampa at the Bull. Y'all killed it. Hey, thanks, Richard. I appreciate y'all coming out, dude. Mike, Nick, what's up? Okay, we'll play a little bit of music. Ask some questions. Charles is singer, songwriter in town, great guitar player too, artist. So he's got a little bit more insight than I do, maybe in like what it's like writing in town, stuff like that. So if you guys got any questions about what it's like to be more on the artist writer side of things, even though he is a great guitar player, Charles definitely can answer some of that, you know? So let's hang in, I guess.
If you're wondering what it's like to be a extremely amateur songwriter, I can answer all those questions.
Well, everybody starts somewhere. It might help you if you look up here.
What advice do I have for writing songs? Okay, I think the first question is the most zoomed out possible question.
Yeah.
The behind the scenes video.
Thanks, Chandler.
T. Acreage.
Yeah.
What advice do I have for writing songs? Do it regularly. That's something I'm not great about, but it's like
Well, you're probably great. You're writing all the time.
I'm writing.
You're writing a lot more than I am.
Lately more. Well, co-writing a lot. Yeah, you're right. I'm writing a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, two biggest things I think I've learned is do it regularly. You don't have to do one of those like verse hook a day. Some people burn themselves out, but like find a good pace. And also have a place in your home that is not your bedroom that you like writing, because then you'll be able to get into more of a routine. Like, don't have it be a thing where you have to like move a table and set things up for you to be able to do it. That's probably good advice for doing anything regularly.
Wow.
Which is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's interesting. That's a great example off the bat. If you guys have any questions about that, I would never even think about that. You know, I'm not, now granted, you guys are always watching me in my office, but I'm always moving and writing guitar riffs and stuff. I'm just playing in here. Yeah. I stumble on something. Oh, that's cool, and I just groove. But you know, that's something I haven't thought about because I'm not writing as much. AJ off the bat with the 10 members. Thanks, brother. AJ. And AJ is our resident mod, nice. Which is great, dude. It's great to see you guys. Kind of a special one. More exciting than when I'm just in here jamming normally. So
what does that mean that you gifted 10 members?
So we got the membership thing on here, and he just gave 10 people a month.
So is it a random 10 that are in here?
Yeah, random 10 that are in here right now. I'm pretty sure it's random, isn't it, you guys? Cool. So, okay, what inspires you, Charles, to write?
Money. No, I'm just playing. What inspires me to write? This is, again, I feel like such a dumb answer, but like great music, like listening to great music. And also, somebody in there asked, do I chase melodies or lyrics first? I feel like if you have like kind of a radar up as you're consuming like movies and TV, and also just having conversations with people, but people will say poetic and unique things all the time.
Just randomly, yeah.
So if you just kind of like have a radar up for it and just are listening for it, and then like writing stuff down in your notes, I feel like I'll hear a phrase and be like, oh, that's something I haven't heard in a song before, and then it's like ammo for the next time I sit down to write, you know?
Yeah.
So that's definitely inspiration.
Wow, great ideas. In fact, let's off the bat, and I know the questions are going to keep rolling in, but dude, do you want to even, maybe I'll jam a little bit, but you want to just play like one of that song you like, to new or something, just give people a little bit of sense of
something by me.
Yeah,
sure.
Just jam on. Maybe I'd jam some with it, but I'll kind of let you do your thing.
Yeah, dude.
Then you guys can hear Charles is a great singer, also a great guitar player. We'll just have some fun guitar jams too.
Yeah, I'll do that Hold On song.
Cool.
I haven't done it on electric, but it'll sound cool. You
Yeah.
think I'm loud enough there? For them to stick my voice?
I think so.
You think you can hear it?
I think so. Tell us if
Let me know if I'm
you
getting
can't
drowned
hear
out.
us.
Yeah.
But I bet you can, dude. I'm just gonna let Charles do his thing. I might not even
You
play
can
it
groove,
off.
bro. It's E major. There's no weird. There's
Yeah,
no
okay.
big
Charles
curveballs.
loves writing. We'll get into some of this later. Charles loves writing some different progressions, which is really cool.
This one's pretty straightforward. Remember the one we used to do that was the one we used to do on Broadway that was so simple?
What's so you're going E?
Yeah, verse is 6-4-1.
Okay.
I'll say it this way: the verses start on 6, the pre starts on 3,
Okay.
and the chorus starts on 5.
Okay.
But it's all diatonic.
Cool.
So you can just kind of.
I'm just gonna make up stuff in E, but I'm gonna mainly let Charles do the thing. You can absolutely join the membership. We'll answer more questions to you guys, but I'll give you a little bit. Put Charles on the spot. Let you hear him sing some and stuff, you know?
Yeah, this is called Hold On. Beautiful. I'm gonna walk down to that 6. I'd throw this guitar in the fire. I'd get rid of my favorite pair of boots. I'd throw it all away if it meant keeping you. Honey, you're the only thing I need to hold on to. I'd follow you 1,000 miles. Leave my whole world in the rear view. I'd start a new life if that's what you wanna do. Honey, you're the only thing I need to hold on to. I'd start over, cut my ties and move out somewhere new. I'd plant a garden just to grow something with you. I live life slower, gather up all my dead ends and cut them loose. Honey, you're the only thing I need to hold on to. You're the only thing I need to hold on to. Hold on to. Yesterday I wrote out my possessions and decided what I can and cannot lose. All it did was lead me to this one simple truth. Honey, you're the only thing I need to hold on to. I'd start over, cut my ties and move out somewhere new. I'd plant a garden just to grow something with you. I'd live life slower, gather up all my dead ends and cut them loose. Honey, you're the only thing I need to hold on to. You're the only thing I need to hold on to. We'll go to that 3. I'd start off, cut my tires and move out somewhere new. I'd plant a garden just to grow something with you. I live life slower, gather up all my dead ends and cut them loose. Honey, you're the only thing I need to hold on to. You're the only thing I need to hold. You're the only thing I need to hold on to.
There it is, you guys. Okay. Well, and the crowd goes wild. You know? Great song, though, dude. I love playing with Charles, man.
Thanks.
Always cool melodies and just... the progressions change up a lot. You
Yeah,
know?
even
like,
that one, you're right. There are like rhythmic things.
Yeah,
about it
rhythmic. Or you
yeah.
started walking down at one point a little bit, you
Yeah.
know, like, and there's just so much. I think some of that comes from being more musical. Also, you could just play guitar better than a lot of the songwriters in the town, you know, and I feel like that leads itself to a lot cooler ideas and
Explore a
progression.
little bit more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know music and music theory a lot better than I'd say a lot of writers too, which just adds to like cool extra movements that so much in town. You could speak to this even more. Is a lot of 1 6 4 5, and it's only that, and the person can only do.
Yeah. And some of that stuff's cool too, and sometimes
When it rains it pours is a great song. I mean, you know, but
and honestly, like one thing we were talking about earlier was like accessibility. Like sometimes I feel like it's almost held me back that my stuff's a little weirder, but in the long run, I feel like, especially like this community, like you guys would appreciate that stuff a little bit more than the 1 5
I think
6,
so.
4,
I think so. Yeah, and it absolutely is like. Whoops! I almost clicked on this on accident, but I always do this, dude. Where I come right in and I just. Boop.
I know you do.
Oh, although actually, how do I look at this? Bam.
Bam. I know you're doing that.
I do it all the time, dude. I just block everybody. Not everybody.
I would never do that, but I respect how.
I always
how
do, man.
Much
we
of a
curate
quick draw you are.
a positive. Wasn't even that bad.
It really wasn't. That's what I'm saying. I
love
thought it
it
was kind of
though.
funny.
Hey, man,
Well,
I'm in
bye-bye.
control. It is a dictatorship.
AJ, thank you for dropping my website and my YouTube channel.
Oh yeah,
That's
dude.
so
I'll
nice.
tell you what. AJ has been.
Dude, you're the man. That's so cool.
He was always in the streams, and he's like, "Oh, you should get a mod." Because sometimes I'll be playing like that, and some people are just spamming Freebird, or they're just saying way off the cuff. And YouTube, if you're saying like bad stuff, it'll auto censor it.
Yeah.
But some stuff it doesn't. So AJ's in there on and check that out, you guys. That's Charles' website if you're interested. Also, if any of you guys are interested in, you're in a position to book stuff, any private stuff, backyard stuff.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of that these days.
All kinds of stuff. Charles travels around and does that. Does covers too. I mean, any type of Broadway, Nashville stuff that you like, or pop stuff. Charles can sing all day long and play. That obviously was a original called "Hold On."
Hold on.
Yeah.
Somebody asked, why'd you guys buy PRS? Here's your time to shine, bro.
Why'd I buy PRS?
Gush about your favorite company.
Yeah, well, it is. It definitely is. So I bought a CE was my first PRS, and I didn't have a humbucker guitar. I was looking for one, and at the time, with Charles was fronting the band. I was playing on Broadway in Nashville.
Yeah.
4-hour-long gigs, a lot of different styles of music, and the PRS versus the Les Paul, a couple things. The coil split sounded better than any of the Les Pauls I tried, and down on Broadway I could bring one guitar. It also was way lighter, which for 4 hours definitely factors into a gig like that. And then on top of that, the locking tuners and the tuning stability I just found way better. Not to mention that PRS has an in-between scale length of Fender and Gibson, and I'm used to Fender stuff, so it didn't feel as short to me.
Oh, really?
So I went PRS. Yeah, it's the scale length. Now this one is not, because this is built like a regular Strat.
Okay.
But this one is. It's just slightly shorter. But the Gibsons
Shorter
are even
meaning
shorter.
like the frets are a
Shorter
little...
from the nut to the bridge.
Oh, I see what
That's
you're
that scale length.
Okay.
Yeah. But this is a standard Fender, which you are used to.
Yeah.
But this one's a little bit shorter, and then a Gibson's a little bit shorter than that.
Nice.
So PRS sits in the middle, but the locking tuners, the weight, and the coil split for versatility of bringing one guitar to a 4-hour-long cover gig of a myriad of music is why I initially went with them. And then once I joined Lanco and got hooked up with some of the PRS people, I became a PRS artist, and I just loved the stuff. And it's the question of, okay, I could go buy a Strat, which I already have an American Strat, or I could leverage my connection with PRS and get a PRS one. So I'm kind of at that point right now where it's like, I'd love to have an old 335 at some point, but why not go the PRS hollow body and pay way less money?
I don't have a PRS. This is Tim's guitar, but I am definitely been thinking about buying a PRS for a while.
I think every time you've come over, you've been like, oh man, these are nice.
They're so awesome. Well, I have a Mexican Telly that I don't really love that much anymore. A Fender Telly.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just would like to upgrade, and I think I'll probably get some kind of version of this. I love this guitar.
Dude, those are awesome. And he's playing the C or the SE one too, right? That's not the American made one. And there's still, I play that guitar all the time, man. Which is great.
I gotta play a little bit of Hotel California for this person that keeps asking.
People always ask that, and I'll tell you what, I'm always in here like, I can't do stuff, Charles can. getting free requests from Charles. Sing just the first little bit.
Yeah. On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, warm smell of colitas rising up through the air. Up ahead in the distance, I saw a shimmering light. My head grew heavy and my sight grew dim. I had to stop for the night.
There it is. Yeah. Dude, I'm always on here like, guys, I don't know that. I'm just a terrible request guitar player. Now
They're just going to start flooding.
Charles is awesome. Yeah. Well, you got a tip next time for it. That is a free one.
I guess I had a Rengarahan. I'm definitely saying your name wrong.
Oh, yeah, there's a bunch of people. Would you prefer self-taught or learning from a tutor? It's whatever works for you. I'm self-taught. I think you're probably self-taught too.
I am. I will say my thoughts on that are that self-taught if you have the discipline. A tutor, just like having a boss at your job, just will give you homework and keep you on a schedule.
Yeah, super true.
So a lot of people are like, oh, I can just learn it on my own, and that just comes down to like, will you do the work?
Yeah.
You know? Whereas having a teacher can put a little bit more pressure on you to actually advance.
See, that's a great point that I don't always bring up, because when I started playing, I was just obsessed. I was in high school. All I did was come home from school, and I was just playing all the time and playing. So self-taught wise, I was always looking up. Now, that path ended up being longer because I wasn't always looking up the right things. I was just looking up songs I loved, and I was like, oh, I got to learn this lick or something. And I was always playing, but I was always had the instrument in my hands, which is a big thing. Also, self-taught, but since, especially moving to Nashville, I've had a lot of mentors throughout it, you know? And we've done a bunch of that. Like when Charles moved to Nashville, he could play some guitar, but we've been hanging out and we played in a band and have been doing it for, 5 years together now or something. And Charles's playing is like skyrocketed because, one, we're playing together, and when I moved here, I could play more than you, and now you freaking keep up all day long. And it's not just me. You've been hanging out with all kinds of people. Yeah. Like Damon or whatever that can play. JP, great example.
That's
other friends, you know.
There's so many great players.
It's like free lessons in a way, you know, which is, I guess, a good thing. It's just jamming with people. Also, you guys, if you like this and you're enjoying it, we got 53 people in here. Hit that like button, man. Do it for me. I'll do the YouTube thing just for a second.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe, seriously. Okay, let's see if there's any other good comments on here.
If you are self-taught, but you can so much from playing with other people. Yeah. The other thing is like self-taught. I mean, it's not like you're sitting alone in a vacuum, like picking notes up. Like you're always learning from other people.
Yeah.
I think the question is just, would you get a teacher or not?
Yeah.
And not all teachers are good too. That's so true.
Yeah.
And there are people that get a teacher and don't advance because they don't do the homework the teacher. So it really comes down to you.
Yeah.
You have to want to be.
Different teachers want to teach different styles. You know, if you want to learn to play AC/DC stuff and your guy's having you read sheet music playing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which I had a version of an experience like that a long time ago. That's not what, you know, that's not going to make you want to go home and pick up the instrument, and you're not going to practice that, you know? So plus or minus, that's a journey you got to kind of go on your own, but there is some examples of it, you know? Advice for noobs? This is my biggest piece of advice. I say this all the time. Just the reps matter a lot. Picking it up for 20 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, goes a lot farther than 2 hours every other Sunday. A lot farther, man. It's just, put your hand on the instrument for 5 minutes a day and you will progress quicker than just playing once every Sunday and noodling. Every time. I say this all the time. Yes, Steffenson was accompanying us. Yeah. He's so sweet, but when Charles is here, he just wants to jump up in his lap while we're doing this. And the poor little guy is just like, I can't calm him down. And it's just so... Yes, he's out there singing along, although I think he's decided to take a nap now. Okay, we already did Hotel California, so no more of that. Let's see, what else? We need an SC Telly-style PRS. I agree. I have no knowledge of them releasing that or anything, but I agree.
Yeah, does
I
PRS
think
do any kind of Telly thing?
Yeah, they've got an NF53. It's awesome. In fact, there's a world at some point I'd love to get one. Yeah. But it's awesome, but it's expensive. It's like a $3,000, you know, like American-made guitar. It's awesome. But I agree, You know, and I have no knowledge of that, so if it is in the works, I don't know about it, but an SE one would be just awesome.
Yeah.
I think they do really well on that. That's the last kind of market they're missing out of the SE range, is that Tele. You know, the NF3, you can get some of it, but it's still more a Strat. So I agree, and I'd imagine at some point they do that, but I have no insider information on that. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you guys, but I genuinely actually don't have any. You know.
What are your favorite pedals at the moment?
Okay, what Charles? Why don't you? So Charles just rebuilt his board a little bit because he's playing more. You tell him.
I'm playing more band shows. I do a lot of solo acoustic hotel gigs, but this year I'm traveling a little bit more with my band and trying to get trying to build my band out a little bit better. And part of that is just getting my guitar tone. Playing with a trio, so it's drums, bass, and me. So the tone matters a lot, you know. Yeah, I mean, I got some advice from you on this, and I also got some from this guy, JP Burr, who
has
also
been on the channel a long time ago, if you guys go look. My longest video ever. Normal video, not a live stream. It's an hour and a half. I was just looking at that last night.
Great video.
It was good. It was one of my least viewed, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But
I liked it too. Well, I know both of you guys, so it's fun to watch. The Nobles ODR, is it ODR? ODR?
Yeah, ODR1.
Yeah, the Nobles ODR1. I have the mini version. It's awesome. That pedal's just awesome.
Play some noises with it.
Yeah, here.
Actually, dude, just do your thing.
Yeah, here's without. So here's my tone without. And then here's with the ODR.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I need to get it like.
Yeah. Oh, whoops. No, that's right. Oh, you're in.
Yeah, that's why I was looking for. you get a little bit of sense of that, right? That Archer sounds good. And I'm just running straight into a Blues Junior. My pedal board's not out.
Yeah, and that Archer's a little bit darker, like with the. This is no verb, or here I found a little bit of verb, but I need to tune up too. But like this is it's that OD1, and then it's the Archer. Yeah, it's a little more like a tube screamer.
Yeah, I've got.
And them together.
Yeah, which is a great little like kind of lead.
Them together is almost a fuzzy feeling.
Yeah.
It's
a little more saturation kind of or whatnot. And I was on the middle two pickups, I guess, but in the bridge pickup I got like a. I got a little bit just cleaner sounding. All right, you guys, let me answer a couple more of these questions while he's tuning up. Hey, thanks. I don't know how to say your name, e.g. something. Charles, how is your voice holding out with singing day in and day out? Charles can definitely talk some about that. And while you tune up, I'll get to a couple more of these. I have the Keeley Screamer, but I want to try it. ODR one is awesome. Totally recommend trying it. Killer pedal, honestly, Graham. Ireland, what's up? What's a good electric guitar to start on? If you like Fender stuff, I'd look at like the Squire series. If you like Les Paul, look at an Epiphone series. Those are kind of 2 entry points. PRS also has, I think their lowest entry point is $500 in the SC world, which those other two brands you could get a little bit cheaper. PRS SE is great too, though, if you want to spend a little bit more off the bat. Okay, you asked about Charles. How did you maintain your voice? Because you are singing a lot.
Yeah. You know, every voice is a little different. I found that I don't have the highest sustained power on my voice. Like when Tim and I first started playing together, we were playing 4-hour sets on Broadway 5 days a week, right?
Yeah.
And I was the only singer in the band, so I'm singing, 20 hours a week minimum.
And these are sets with 2 live electric guitar amps facing forward at a very loud bar. I mean, I swear Lanco sometimes doesn't play as loud as we get at some of those bars. At least it doesn't feel as loud on stage. The drums are, but there were loud sets is my interjection there.
Yeah, they were really loud, and the monitors aren't great there either.
Yeah.
And so all in all, what I'm saying
in-ears
is
also.
No in-ears. So what I'm saying is like I'm singing a lot at a high volume, and the banter, because of the nature of the clubs, I'm doing a lot of
you're talking in between
thank
every
you guys
song.
for coming out. Yeah, and I'm talking up. I'm yelling. I'm almost yelling a lot of the set between songs because it was like a rock show. I found a vocal coach and did a Zoom meeting with him just to say, hey, look, I've lost my voice some. My voice loses some power sometimes. What do you recommend on in terms of maintaining my voice? And he was like, stop singing that much. He was that was his response. He was like, you can't maintain your voice doing that much work. So it's a weird thing where like I sing for a living, but I've gotten better about saying no to stuff when my week is already too busy, which is just hard to do because it's your job.
Well, when you first land in town too, you're trying to take every bit of, because your phone's not ringing as much.
Right, exactly.
So it's okay, I'm going to take anything I can get. Then you get to a place where you can start to be a little bit more picky. And then you're thinking about things like that.
Yep.
It takes probably kind of blowing out your voice for a week or two.
Yeah.
To then start thinking, oh, maybe I shouldn't do this, which is why we stopped doing that Broadway band.
Yep, exactly. You know? And I started doing more acoustic sets, and those are like, I mean, I never hurt my voice singing acoustic, just because I'm literally just singing at a lower volume. I'm singing, like, songs that I drop the key of a lot of the songs.
It's a lot easier to do that too when you're by yourself.
Exactly.
Like Hotel California earlier, you were not playing an original.
No, I'm playing like a fifth lower than the original.
Yeah, right, yeah.
But like with a live band, like, you know, for example, if I wanted to say, okay, should have been a cowboy is pretty high for me, which it is. I should have been a cowboy. Should have learned to rope and ride. Maybe I would rather sing that as a whole step down. So, should have been a cowboy. That feels a lot more comfortable for me. But Tim's got to do the riff.
And that one has the open string.
That's what I'm saying.
Always
so
the
like,
open.
And that requires open strings. So if you try to replicate that down here, it's not the same thing.
Yeah,
and so
you can.
There are songs where, because of like to get the riff, you have to sing in an open key.
I also think I wasn't as good then at changing
transposing.
keys, whereas now I play with Grace, who I've talked about on here, and she changes the key to everything, you know, and I've gotten more used to it because I've done it more. But then I'd be like, oh, dude, I know this in one position, and I'm cooked if we try and move it, you know.
Yeah, but all that to say, playing acoustic is a lot easier on. Honestly, playing acoustic is just easier for me in like every way.
And here's another
It's
factor.
help with the voice at all.
Outside of the voice thing, that I will say it's a real thing that you maybe wouldn't think to say on here. But also, Charles is just making a lot more money acoustic.
Yeah.
By yourself, there's only one person making the money.
Yeah.
5 people, you're paying 5 people.
And the tips.
You're splitting it. So if you make $200 in tips, you divide that by 5. You make $200 in tips, you're walking out with $200 in tips.
Yeah.
By yourself, you know? So I think the voice probably led to that, but then you probably are also like, man, I'm making way more money.
Yeah. All around, it's like until you get to a pretty big level, just the less guys in the band, the more money is probably going to be made. Now, there's tons of factors, right? Like, you could play with 5 guys in the band, but you play a gigantic room and you kill it, and then everybody makes more. But whatever. I mean, generally, most guys I know in town are making more playing by themselves.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think a lot of singer-songwriter people are doing that because it's easier, more money, easier on your voice. It's easier in the sense that you're the only factor.
Yeah.
And you know everything you can play. You know if you can do a request or not. Because sometimes we get requests, and Charles could maybe sing it, but if it's a Stone Temple Pilots song, like, I don't know any of that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I could try and make it up if someone
And
paid
vice
a lot,
versa.
but
There's songs where people would want to hear like old rock stuff, and you know the riffs all day.
Yeah.
Stuff that you maybe learned like when you first picked up the guitar.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like, for example, what's the Jimi Hendrix song you would play when I
Oh,
took a
Little
break?
Wing.
Yeah, like Little Wing. Is there vocals in that? Or is it instrumental?
In the Jimmy, there's 2 versions. One's instrumental, one's, but yeah.
But like, if
there's-
somebody asked me to sing that, I don't know. So it's just trickier. Like everybody specifically with full band taking requests, that is a hard world because you all kind of have to know the song, or at least like if you don't know the song, you all have to be good at improvising and landing together on something you haven't played before, and that in itself is a muscle too.
Which there's a lot of bands downtown that will crush that, and they will play any song you want. Now, a lot of those bands got 2, sometimes even 3 singers. A lot of times if there's 2, one's male, one's female, they got the whole spectrum covered of saying, okay, she's going to sing the Carrie Underwood song.
Yeah.
He's going to sing Should Have Been a Cowboy, whatever, right? And a lot of those people play together a lot, you know. There's a lot of guys in town that their job is that in their song books. And you're more of that than I am. But I'm definitely not that, man. I got to work on that stuff. I'm just not a good request guitar player because that's not what I've spent my whole career down here doing.
Well, your career no longer demands it.
Well, now I'm even worse. Yeah, now I'm even worse. I always say I'm really good at 14 songs.
Yeah.
Really good at 14.
Is that all you do in your headline set? I think you're more than 14.
I think it's less.
90 minutes?
Yeah, but we got the whole crowd part we play because the crowd part's almost 15, 20 minutes of it. So we're technically like the crowd part right now. We start with Great Day to Be Alive, verse, chorus, and it takes 2 minutes to get off the stage while we're playing the thing to get into the crowd.
Right.
Then we do, we've switched it up a ton. We've been doing Stick Season or Season of the Sticks, whatever that song is called. Then we do Springsteen. And I get back on song. Then also we have that long jam session, which in some of the headline ones, sometimes my solo alone is 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's a 5 to 7 minute part at the
so
end.
you're not just playing 3 minutes.
All the laws for the extra stuff. So yeah. Also, we play right now a 1.5-minute version. It's condensed of Thank God I'm a Country Boy. That's like our intro song. The set starts once that goes.
Yeah.
So then it's 3-4 minutes before we're even on stage and playing the first song. Intro for the first, so there's other factors. But yeah, 14, either way, I'm good at our set now because that's my job, but also you guys, thanks for tuning in and stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
We've had a bunch of in and outs, a bunch of people, a bunch of great questions too, honestly.
What else we got?
It's kind of fun.
How'd you guys get good at soloing? I learned the Cage system, but I'm still really slow. Also, what are your guitar influences? Tim, what do you think?
Okay, hold on. I did say that again. Who said that? Read the...
Oh, halfway down, Evan. Or is that what it said? Yeah.
Oh, how do you get good at soloing? Is that what you said? I've learned the Cage system, but I'm still really slow. Also, Who are your guitar influences? Okay, the cage system stuff, right? It's great. It's good to know. It's the most important thing. It's the foundation. And when I'm just droning open E and I can play in E major up and down the neck, the cage system's doing a couple things. One, those 5 shapes are my landing points, right? Okay, those are where I'm thinking in my brain which position I'm kind of in. Now, with each of those, if I'm in this C shape, I know the E major pentatonic right there. I also know the E major scale, right? You know, and I know I'm getting a little theory on it for just a second, but knowing those things, so I would learn there's a pentatonic, there's just 5 shapes that fits with each of them. I'd learn that, and then that chord, man, that's those, what your fingers are under, those are the notes you want to land on. You want to emphasize the end of your phrase or the beginning of your phrase, whatnot, you know. So the way it comes together is start when I'm playing E, I'm thinking, okay, here I'm in the low open E position. E. Now let's move up to the C position. I'm in C, right? I'm just playing the E major scale, but now I'm in that A position. G up to E, you know, and then walking it back down. So I think it takes some practice, but I would start trying to connect your pentatonic, major pentatonic, to those cage shapes and flowing in and out of them, and use those slides to go up to the next position. You know, that's a really brief example of it. I teach lessons. AJ will put the stuff up in the chat if you're interested in a lesson, and obviously I go a lot more in depth there. But that's
I would also say learn your favorite solos.
Yes, it's a huge thing. You know, it's learning them initially, and then once you have that knowledge, you can start saying, "Oh, dude, gravity. He's just playing on it's G, but it's out of C shape right there. It's that C shape. It's C shape all day long, you know. So once you start connecting those, when you get up on stage and Charles says, "Let's play gravity, but let's play it in E," you know. So it's a culmination of all those things. But learning those solos, just even parts of the solos, will give you some licks, and then it's connecting it back to, okay, what shape's he playing out of, you know? We're not, neither of us are left-handed. It's just mirrored.
I don't know.
And you can't turn, you can't turn the mirroring off. I have to explain this every live stream.
Oh, really? People think that you're left-handed? You're left-handed.
Yeah, people come in and some people just don't like watching it that way. But as I've discussed this so many times. Jason, also great to see you, dude. Jason's like, okay, so Jason, tell me if I'm wrong. You're out in California. I did a lesson with Jason. It was kind of just a hangout, and we, because Jason's a killer guitar player. Jason is doing like solo gigs like you do, but he's doing jazz guitar stuff.
That's what he said. Jazz
he's
from
in
the
here.
40s.
Yeah, okay.
No one knows what to request anyway.
Yeah, see, so
awesome.
That's awesome. But Jason, great to see you in here, dude.
I probably play songs that I don't like. I mean, not that often, but like sometimes we get requests for stuff that I don't really want to play.
What's like one that sticks out in your brain when you say that?
Chattahoochee. Stuff that's real country. Because that's just not really my... I like some country, but I would much rather play like
some Keith Whitley or something.
Yeah, something that's like more ballady or pretty.
Yeah.
But when stuff's real...
Yeah, you start getting that. Yeah, that...
Lay down yonder on the Chattahoochee. When like the character that sings the song is like a country-ass guy, that's where it starts to feel like I'm like playing a character or something when I sing it.
Agree.
But I'll do it. You throw $20 in the bucket and I'm all day, you know?
Yeah.
Or whatever it is.
Yeah, and then... Yeah, I don't even know if I play it right. Do y'all prefer smaller or larger fretboard radiuses? Henry, what's up? You know what? I don't have I don't love it super flat, that I do know, but I just pick up a guitar and each guitar I have is a little bit different and they all feel good in a different way. So I'm basing it a lot more on that. I'm not looking hard at specs. Some metal style guitars that are super flat, it feels wider to me. and I don't love that because I'm not used to
I agree.
it. So I'd say a good in between, but each one's different. This radius is different than that one, than the two hanging on the wall, and the new hollow body I just got is a little different than this, and the neck's a little different, so each one's unique, right? But I don't have a set and hard thing besides a super flat one. But I'm not a shredder type guy, and I think it lends itself a lot when you're a shredder type of person,
Yeah.
Hello, the underdog. Is that the, I'm sure it's not the underdog here, but yeah. What are your favorite amps for practice? Honestly, a killer. I'm going to shout out a couple things.
The positive grid.
Yeah. So, tube amp wise, Blues Junior, you can't go wrong with, and you can play gigs with that all day long.
Yeah.
But killer practice amp is the Positive Grid Spark 2. Dude, awesome practice amp. My normal amps are on the road right now, and right now I'm playing through the Blues Junior, but I've spent a bunch of time sitting in here just playing through the Positive Grid thing. I don't need a pedal board. It sounds great. Any tone you could ever imagine you can get out of it. So that's my shout out to Positive Grid.
Yeah, and you can run like backing tracks.
Dude,
it can be
backing
like a Bluetooth
tracks,
speaker.
you can loop on it.
It's awesome.
You have independent control of the music volume. Also on their app, they've got backing tracks with chords that you can see. They've got lessons on the app and stuff, and you can control the whole amp from the app. So when you're sitting, you change up tones. You can literally look up John Mayer's Slow Dancing in Burning Room, and someone's made a tone with the plugins on it, and you just pull it up, and it sounds pretty good.
It's awesome. It does sound good.
So practice amp wise, I'd look at those
And
little
it doesn't sound
Positive
very
Grids.
thin.
No, especially the full size one. I've got the little mini one sitting right here, and this one, once you get it like rolling, it will get a little like farty outy if it's too loud. But the big one is awesome. So totally worth that. Are there any requests you could play but won't?
No. Not for money.
Yeah, I remember
job.
at least one time I've gotten away with never playing Freebird on Broadway. And
Oh,
I don't even know it all the way.
I played Freebird quite a bit.
So, but when we were in the band, one point someone wanted to tip us $100 for it, and I was like, dude, if you're gonna pay $100, let me not like ruin this. I should know the song if you're gonna play us $100. And we did something else. I think they still gave us the 100. We've got some good stories. One time, someone I didn't know all the songs that he wanted. He wanted to do $100 for 4 requests because it's $20 a piece. And we didn't know like 2 of them. And the guy in front of my face ripped the $100 bill in half and put it in the tip bucket. And he said, "Learn those songs and come back." Wow, what an asshole!
That was with me.
Yeah, it was with us.
I don't think
It was at the stage. I was running the bucket.
Not the stage. We never played the stage.
I'm sorry, not the
Rippies.
stage. Rippies. Is what I meant. The side room.
It was. I didn't remember that 4 songs thing. I just remember that he asked for flyover states.
Yeah, that and it was another. There was
really?
4. Yeah, because he came up and he's like, "Well, if it's $20, if I give you 100, will you do 4?"
Yeah.
Said okay, and like 2 of them I think we knew, and then the other ones I was like, maybe Charles knows it. I went up and asked Charles. Charles didn't know him.
Yeah.
And the guy ripped it, and he was with his like daughter and maybe her boyfriend, or maybe his daughter and son. I can't remember. They were of drinking age because we were all in a bar late at night. And he ripped that $100 bill right in front of my face and threw it in the tip bucket. And I remember his daughter was just mortified. She was so embarrassed.
He was pissed. When he left, he was actually mad at us that we couldn't play them, which is just such a crazy thing. And then he threw the other half in. And then,
that's what he did. So you're right. He ripped it in half and put half of it in there. And he said, "Learn those songs.
Yeah.
And then I'll give you the other half."
And then finally, we didn't. I was like, man, I don't know flyover states. I don't know what to tell you.
And at that point, the person's just a dick, and I didn't really want to.
And then the underdog just called it, tape it back together and get a bank to exchange it for a good 100. That's what I had to do. I had to tape it together. I think I had to mail it in.
Yeah, joke's on him. We did actually get the $100.
We did.
But at the end of the night, we're splitting up tips, and Charles would take all the cash and then Venmo everybody. So you had to deal with it, but we counted the 100 still, I think. And we were like, okay, we'll just count it part of the tips and whatnot.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah, super weird. Okay, you guys, we'll take a couple more questions, then we'll maybe leave you with the song, and then we'll hop off. Make no mistake, you cats are judging way more balls than I could. You cats are juggling way more balls than I could live. Hey, I mean, Jason, we're all doing your thing. I know you're doing it well out there too, bro.
Yeah, and you're also probably playing way more complicated music than we are.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're playing 40s jazz.
Yeah, I like Rush E with keyboardist.
It's like Rush E with keyboardist.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Keyboardist get Rush acid.
Yeah, I see.
What does he mean, Rush E?
I don't know. There's lots of times. No, I'm not. He's not the bar in Nashville. Just a random dude. Do people ask you that a lot? The underdog. Wow, sounds awesome. I'm surprised. I always thought it would sound bad because of the price. Oh, this? No, I think it's awesome, dude.
Where do you see that?
You know,
Oh, sounds
one of them. Yeah, I'm just going up.
He might be
bit.
talking about the amp, the practice amp.
Oh, the practice amp.
Maybe,
yeah.
I don't know.
Whichever you're talking about, they both sound good. I pride myself on I don't have anything in here that sounds like bad.
Yeah,
except for maybe that
that
shitty mandolin, but I don't play mandolin, and that's like $80.
Cheapest place to live near Nashville. Thinking of moving there from Dallas, but afraid of living expenses.
So don't go to Antioch, but Antioch's probably the answer to that question.
Yeah.
But you don't really want to live in Antioch. I live out in Madison right now, and Madison is not as expensive as East Nashville's gotten. You can live in East Nashville like Charles does, but you have 4 roommates. And I used to live with Charles. So that was 5 at one point, I think.
We're going back to that, by the way. This summer we're getting a 5th.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it'll reduce the rent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say, man, if you want to live in a safe place in Nashville, you're probably going to start at like the close to like $1,000 a month per person, right? Would you say?
Probably. You could get lucky and have a little less. I mean, there's rooms around. Well, you did caveat it with the safe place. Antioch,
That's
I
what I'm
lived in
saying.
Antioch.
Yeah, you can.
And I never got robbed, but it's not as safe.
I lived right down the street on Trinity, and I was paying like $400 a man, but it was like very much the hood.
Yeah, the next
it's like
house over.
You know,
God.
I mean, a
You
lot of
had that
people,
alcoholic neighbor with all the
a lot of that guy was awesome. a lot of people have stories about the first place they live in Nashville is super unsafe, but I mean, you kind of just get what you pay for.
Yeah.
I think that $1,000, like $800 to $1,000
yeah,
a
it's
person.
probably what you'd be kind of looking for.
For rent.
And you could find cheaper, but you know the main key is if you want to come here and do it, it opens up a lot of work opportunities. There's just so much more work here in music on across a massive swath of different types of things that you could, from writing, live audio stuff, lighting things, tour managing, being a hand at Bridgestone, to playing on Broadway, cover band. I mean, there's just so much. So getting here, if you really want to do it, is the first and foremost thing, and you just get what you can take. And then after a year or two, you'll probably be able to move and, you know, you'll level up a little bit. Okay, the questions are going to keep rolling in. I'm also starving, so why don't you want to, you play like an Angel from Montgomery or something like that, or do you anything else?
Something more fun. Let's play, you want to do Superstition or something?
Yeah, sure.
You want me to sing it, or you just want to groove on it?
Let's sing it. Let's like play a little end on a little song.
Okay. Yeah. Baby. That's pretty high, actually.
You can do it in whatever key you want. Didn't we, last time we played it in like A or something?
Yeah,
I
sure.
think live
Is that
did
cool?
it,
And then
yeah, so there we're going, yeah.
it's everything just up a string.
Yeah, okay.
Alright, cool. Writing on the wall, very superstitious, they're about to fall. 13-month-old baby broke the looking glass. 7 years of bad luck, things in the past. If you believe in things that you don't understand, well, you suffer. Superstition ain't the way. It ain't the way. Superstition. Wash your face and hands. Very superstitious, baby. Man's got a plan. Keep me in a daydream. keep me going strong. You could never save me. Sad is my song. If you believe in things that you don't understand, well, you suffer. Superstition ain't the way. Start the pressure right here. Very superstitious, nothing more to say. Very superstitious, devil's on his way. Keep me in a daydream, keep me going strong. You could never save me. Sad is my song. If you believe in things that you don't understand, they'll suffer. Superstition ain't the way. Remember how we used to end it with the band? You do 5 hits on 5, so this would be E. Not yet. Yeah, it ain't the way. So 5 hits on 5 right here. Superstition ain't the way.
All right, you guys. Hey, thanks for hanging out, checking that out. Something a little different than just me on here, right?
Yeah, it's fun.
Great hang. 6 months. Oh, hey, dude, thanks for the tip too,
Oh,
Underdog.
thank you.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks for introducing us to Charles. Member for AJ, you're the man. I appreciate that.
Appreciate
Also,
y'all.
the Underdog. Thanks, you guys. End on a little bit of a song there. Need to eat some food. Need to let little man out. So, you guys, I appreciate it. Everyone, until next time, I think we're going to end it there.
Yep. Thanks
So,
for having me, Tim.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
absolutely, dude. Love doing it. It was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Keep watching the videos. More gig vlogs to come. I got a lot more content coming out. And until next time, peace.